Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about some intoxicating, alluring, sexy fragrances that work perfect for summer. Can't wait to share. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. Today I want to talk about fragrances that are intoxicating, alluring, and kind of those man magnet fragrances. So the ones that guys tend to gravitate towards and like. I want to talk about those. The first fragrance I want to talk about is Flower Bomb Midnight by Viktor and Rolf. Honestly, this is a fragrance that you can wear during the day as well. So it's not indicative to an evening fragrance. That said, this is the kind of fragrance that men really enjoy. So there's a little bit of tartness. There's a little bit of that shampoo-y feel. So it smells a little bit like a fruity shampoo. So there's a bit of cleanness in this one, which I would say is coming from that night blooming jasmine. There's also a peony in here. There's blackcurrant and pomegranate. So you get that juicy floral factor. So definitely something that guys tend to enjoy is a little bit of a floral, a little bit of fruitiness, a little bit of clean. So whenever there's kind of that mixture, it's kind of like a guy magnet. So I can see guys really enjoying this. It's also not uber overpowering. So for me, for a summer evening, I can see this one being really, really nice. It's not too heavy, but you are going to get like a nice projection, a little bit of sillage. So if you whip your hair back and forth, he's going to smell it a little bit. And it's got that alluring kind of addictive feel as far as that juicy kind of tart fruitiness paired with some of that jasmine. So I think this one's great. Dry down, you still get that fruity component. You get a little bit of muskiness coming into play. So I think that this is a really great kind of softer, feminine, alluring fragrance that guys enjoy. Now the next fragrance is more intoxicating, to me slightly indolic. It's one of the big guns in my opinion, not for the faint of heart, and it is Olympia Intense. Now this one is amber, like it's a massive amber fragrance, but where sometimes amber can be heavy, this one isn't heavy because it's perfectly balanced with some salt. So you definitely get the salt, you get this amber, you get some vanilla. So it smells almost like a salted vanilla-y amber caramel. And that's basically what you're getting. It's a little bit sticky feeling because it's so sweet, but the salt kind of cuts through the sweetness to keep it from getting cloying. The longevity on this one is really, really beautiful. And as it dries down, it becomes kind of a your skin but better feel. You know, when you're thinking about the heat, if it's hot outside, you're going dancing, you know how the skin can smell kind of a little bit musky, a little bit sweet, a little bit salty. This is kind of what this is like. So this to me is uber sexy, like really sexy. Like if I want to feel sexy, if I want to feel intoxicated, I put this fragrance on. I don't know what it is about this, but it's a little bit somehow indolic to me. It's just so amazing. This one to me smells like you've had a really amazing time. That's all I'll say. The next intoxicating, delectable, alluring fragrance that I have for you is The Only One Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. Oh my goodness, this one is so delicious. What I primarily get is apple, coconut, some sort of booziness with vanilla and woods. So the woods come kind of more in the dry down, but somehow that apple and the coconut kind of gives me kind of a boozy feel somehow. It's very, very sweet, but it's very addictive. So this is one that has a beautiful scent trail. It's uber sexy. It's intoxicating. It's got that alluring factor. And yeah, I just like, this is one, like I could sniff it nonstop. So if you're wanting to wear something where your guy just can't stop sniffing you, Can't stop sniffing. This is the one to go with. This one also has quite a lot of florals in it. So it has neroli in the top and jasmine and orange blossom in the heart. So, you know, the florals kind of balance out that fruity juiciness. There's also mandarin in here. I don't know if that adds to the boozy factor, but to me, there's a boozy factor in this. The other thing that's neat about the Only One Intense is it smells a little bit like Armani Privé's Rouge Malachite, which I think is uber sexy and delicious. This fragrance, you could maybe get away with wearing it in the daytime as well, but it's so intoxicating and just mouth-watering. In the base, you get vanilla, cashmere wood, and cedar. I definitely get the cedar factor, so the woodiness definitely comes out, although I find the woodiness comes out more in cold weather, whereas the florals and that coconut apple jasmine-y vibe come out more so in the heat. So love this fragrance. Very addictive, very alluring, very sensual, beautiful for date night. Like, it's a sexy one. Again, I find this one uber addictive and alluring, but it's completely different to me. So this is La Nuit Trésor Nude. This is kind of a coconut rose vanilla. So it's primarily vanilla, but with that coconut and a slight rose. You've got that rose DNA from the La Nuit Trésor line, but it's just bared back, and you get this delicious kind of intoxicating addictive coconut vanilla in this one. Now, it feels as if there's a little bit of peach in this one. So I like to amp up peach and coconut. I think is just an absolute amazing combination. So if you want to make it uber addictive, add Pesho Yuzu by Kais. I love this combination. First of all, it lasts forever on the skin. Like, you're going to get a good 8 hours with this combination. This one is a lot more elegant. It's classy. So for kind of a special occasion, this one works beautifully, but it's still got that real addictive, intoxicating feel because it just smells so amazing. Then when you add some peach in there, this peach is sweet. There's a little bit of tartness because of that yuzu. There's a little bit of floral in this one, but how it comes across to me is a delicious, mouth-watering, decadent, juicy, sweet peach. That kind of dries down a little bit pastry-like. So the full combination is quite gourmand, and yet you don't smell like a peach coconut pastry. There's a little bit more going on that gives it some complexity. So I love this combination. This on its own is absolutely stunning. It's very, very classic. Paired with the peach, you get such a sexy, like literally mouth-watering, addictive, intoxicating vibe from these. So love it. You could wear this one during the day. I do. But for an evening thing, if you want to smell edible, ooh, so, so good. Last fragrance that works perfect for a summer date night would be Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez. Now, this fragrance to me, I would say that this would work during the day on a cooler summer day. It works kind of all year round. It's so freaking sexy. Like, I smell it and I'm like, like, it's awesome. So this one has plum, and I find plum to be an uber, plum and peach, I find sexy somehow. Well, I find lots of stuff sexy. This has plum, pink pepper, nice. Pink pepper and bergamot in the opening. I get lots of that plum, like lots of that delicious, juicy, mouth-watering plum. It's beautiful. It's got musk rose and tuberose in the heart. Definitely get more of that rose, but I don't really pick it out as rose. Like, it does smell like rose, but it kind of more smells like florals. It's not like it's heavy rose smell. So there is that rose component, but it's kind of soft. So it's not like sticky, icky, heavy rose at all. And then the base is vanilla. I get that muskiness throughout the wear of the fragrance. Basically what I get is a plum, slight little bit of rose, a little bit of jamminess, a little bit of muskiness. The musky makes it feel a little bit fuzzy, not effervescent, but just kind of a little bit fuzzy somehow. It's uber seductive. Very intoxicating. It's got a beautiful scent bubble. This again is very classy, and this is uber sexy. Last fragrance that I want to mention is Scandal by Night. This is a decadent, juicy cherry fragrance. So there's cherry, I think there's some pear in this one. I think there's tuberose in this one, so it's syrupy, a little bit of a liquored cherry. It's a little bit brighter, so it's not like a Tom Ford cherry. So this one works really good in the summer. You're getting some of that honey. It smells like kind of a honey-soaked cherry with a little bit of liquor. It's a bit indolic because of that honey, but it's not too much. This one's brighter and a little bit more wearable than the original Scandal, but this is like seriously a man magnet. It's delicious. It's decadent. I love it. As far as sexy, like uber sexy and intoxicating, I'd say that these three, so Musk Noir, Rose, Olympia Intense, and the only one Intense. These are all kind of more that intoxicating, alluring, sexy vibe. Flower Bomb Midnight is more of your kind of flirty, you know, a little bit more lighthearted, sexy vibe, the shampoo-y kind of sexy type. As well as Flower Bomb Midnight, I would say that Scandal by Night is quite kind of a little bit more flirty. It's still uber sexy too, but there's a bright juiciness from the cherry that definitely gives that kind of a little bit of a flirty feel. So this one, yeah, delicious. Both of these amazing. This is a little bit more sexy than this one. But yeah, they both have that kind of flirty, juicy feel. And then this one is more your kind of a little bit more of your gourmand, edible, nibble worthy, but still elegant and classy date night fragrance. So this is beautiful. This would be something I would definitely wear to a wedding. It's got that kind of vibe, but you still want to smell alluring, addictive for your guy. So this would definitely do the trick. What about you? What is your favorite kind of intoxicating, alluring fragrance for date night in the summer? Leave it in the comments. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week. We'll talk to you soon.